Welcome back to my channel. I'm heading back to school because my room has been cleaned and so it is ready to be put back together. But I'm not sure that that's what I'm going to start with. I want to get all of my picture books put into an Excel spreadsheet. I want to add more picture books into my literacy block this year. And so in order to do that, I kind of want to know what books I have. I'm going to have to read through some of them, kind of see what I can use them. But I'm setting up a spreadsheet that has like the title of the book, and it has the author, and then different reading and writing skills. Some of them are math books that I can use in order to teach with. So that's the thing that I want to get done today. Are all of the picture books that I want to put in. There might be some random ones sitting around. A few of these, like maybe half of the shelf right here is done, but I do need to quickly type all of these in just so I know what I have, because when I'm out and about at different thrift shops or yard sales, I want to be able to buy books that I know I need or to put on my school wish list. So let's get started. As I was entering my books today, I have the beginning of the school year in the back of my mind, and earlier this week I had come across a Facebook post in a teaching group. I don't recall which one, I don't recall the author, and she had shared a couple of books that aren't as well known, maybe wouldn't be ones that they had heard before. Not that I mind reusing books, because I do it all the time, and even within the year I teach, we reread books multiple times. But anyway, I found the first one I wanted to bring up was More Than Anything Else. And this is the story about Booker T. Washington and him learning to read. And so I'm going to have the kids come up with something they want more than anything before we read the book. And then we will read it. We will talk about how important it is and how special it is that we get to learn to read, that we get to learn math, that we get to learn all of these things. The other book that I think I'm going to use for the beginning of the year is Mr. Peabody's Apples. Yes, and that one is written by Madonna. And this is a great way to have a discussion about gossip and bullying and what that means and what that looks like. And I just think with society these days, we think everything is bullying when it's not. Sometimes it's just people being mean. Sometimes it really is just kids being kids and trying to figure things out and wanting to look cool, and us as teachers, as educators, letting them know that it's not right. And so I'm hoping that this one will lead to some great discussions. I think it will be very helpful with the class that I have coming up. I really feel that a lot of adults should read this and take some of these things into account. Two other books that I will use at the beginning of the year is the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore. We talk about that when, I'm talking about and introducing like the procedures to our classroom library. Sometimes I will also use read about it, and that's just great about talking how we can use books to take us different places and to use our imagination. And so because, I try really hard to get the kids to read, those are two great books to kind of push that and to show them why books can be so important. Go ahead and take a second to hit the subscribe button so that you can continue to get ideas that you might be able to use within your classroom. All right, so I have moved my furniture around. I don't know that I love it. It looks a little bit cluttered to me, but what I do love is the large space up front near my whiteboard, because I do make my students come up to the front and sit on the floor when we are doing whole group learning. So I do love that part. But let me show you what I did get done today. As you saw at the beginning of the video, the first thing I started doing was making sure that I had a spreadsheet of all of my picture books so I can start planning which books I can use for what. And when I'm looking for books at thrift shops, I will know what books I have. Then I can't really focus until everything is organized to get other things done and to see what I want to do to my room differently. So I knew I wanted to try and get rid of some things. I didn't get rid of hardly anything, and so that's a little bit frustrating, but that's okay. But again, I don't know that I love it. So this is when you come in the room, and so I have, two tables. We'll raise this one right here so it's the same height. We have desks because some kids do prefer that. And then I have comfortable chairs. I do have a couch. Last year, my kids had said that these like office chairs would have been more comfortable had they had like something like a coffee table to prop their feet up on to kind of write easier. Otherwise, they love not having desks. Last year, also, a lot of my kids sat on the floor and laid on the floor to do their work. I don't really care how they do their work as long as they're working. So it's nice that there's all this floor space, but I do have my kids come up for whole group instruction, and I need that space, and we do a lot of group work and on the floor and stuff like that. So I need the space, but like when I look at it, so like this will be my teacher area. Oh gosh, this is so overwhelming. I think maybe what's throwing me off is maybe these two chairs right here, but I don't know where else to put them. And I think I'm gonna need them. So I could put one like back here in this corner. And then maybe the other one at the edge of this table, but then it would just be like a horseshoe. So I don't know also if these are my two new tables that I got because the kids had said something about propping their feet up. That was donated to my classroom. So I don't know if that's what's throwing me off, but anyway, I was able to get rid of a 3-tiered shelf that was here. And then I was able to get rid of a table that was like this. I was going to use it for like the student center over here, but I had picked this up at Facebook Marketplace for like $5, I think. And I did have to buy the containers, which is not a big deal. So they're gonna have their turn-in bin here. And then this is gonna have like their pencils, the stapler, the stuff that they can use, the supplies that they can use. And then one's just gonna have paper. This is just the white paper. This will be like materials they can use. So I keep, like when we're doing states and capitals, they can come and get one of these when we are beginning those. And then this one just has some extra games that are a little bit smaller, so it didn't look too crazy over here. And then I have all these games and like STEM bin type activities that they can do. So that is it. I did get rid of a purple like picnic chair or whatever that I didn't feel, it just took up too much space. This will be where I sit when I read to the kids or I'm instructing and I'm having kids come up. So that's kind of where we are today. So I can't believe it's July and I'm at day 1 of setup. So I don't have to come in, but it just relieves a lot of stress if I just take a little bit of time and come in and get things set up a little bit at a time. It's not as overwhelming. It makes me feel better. And I never did that when my child was young. We were always busy and on the go with sports and stuff. So, you know, my child is an adult and grown. My husband's at work. And so it brings me joy to come in and it takes a lot of stress away. So that is the end of setup day 1. If you have any advice on what to do with these chairs or how to set it up a little bit differently, drop a message below. Let me know what you would do. Also, please take a moment to like this video and hit subscribe so that the next time I post a video, setup day 2, that you will be notified for that, and hopefully you will get at least one thing that you can take away from my video. Thank you for joining me.